friends. Today I want to talk to you about safety. Not safety on the equipment, although that's also really important to me, and you will hear me talk about that if you come in sessions in person. But today it's about the sense of safety being a really important part of your approach to getting active again with pain. So if we know that fear fuels pain, then the opposite of that would be to relearn or rewire your brain to see safety where danger was previously its response. And this is why I love to combine pain reprocessing therapy, which I am certified in, with my Pilates work with clients because you're not just sitting in a room kind of imagining that you're in a situation that would typically cause you pain. A lot of people who have chronic pain associate movement with pain. So we can really get at the heart of kind of exposing you to things that might typically be creating fear, and then fear fuels pain, and then that can kind of lead to the cycle of being afraid to move because of the pain, which may even like thinking about moving could cause you pain. So safety is just so important. And I was really, while I know all of this, and it's a key part of the work that I do at Movement Remedies, the book I've just started reading is Our Polyvagal World, which is all about the polyvagal theory, um, which is something I've heard about through my trauma research, but I've never gone in deep. And it's just basically very, simply states that your neuroscience is such that feeling safe is better for your physical and mental well-being than feeling afraid or feeling a threat, and that there are physiological changes in the body that happen as a result of those two things, and how being in a state of chronic unsafety can affect the body. And it's really interesting reading this book on the tales of The Body Keeps the Score, because surely uh, you would, a simple definition of trauma is that your kind of worldview is like fundamentally changed so that your kind of sensors or barometers for safety are off and the world likely feels fundamentally unsafe. And even if you haven't been through trauma with a big T, you could argue that the majority of people are experiencing um, stresses and threats every single day that kind of condition us to feel unsafe all the time. And so the point of this is to say, take a look at your movement practice today and ask yourself, do I feel safe? Do I take time to turn inward and remark on the fact that I am indeed safe in this body? And I'm all about doing those heavy weights and pushing yourself to a new limit so that you can achieve things. But we also need to make time for just inhabiting our body and just taking note of the fact that this body we are in is safe and good, and this moment is safe and good, and that in itself is a path to healing. And I think the healing gets really exciting, and I've seen this in my own experience with clients, when you start combining pushing people to their new edge and making time to feel safe. Because as you start to incrementally increase a person's vocabulary for movement beyond what they originally thought possible because of pain, and then take a moment to go, do you feel safe right now? Like how much are you, like sometimes when I do a Turkish get up with the kettlebell, I have an image that flashes through my mind of the kettlebell crashing into my skull. I don't know why my brain does that, but it does that. So, I want to know, like, are you imagining you're going to crash off the chair right now? Or are you like, I'm on top of the world, feeling all the energy? Those are very different ways of experiencing movement. And if we can extend your range into more challenging places and find safety, now we're cooking with gas. Now we're talking about really being able to take new challenges on and really being able to kick that chronic pain in the teeth. So I think that we sometimes believe that, taking time to feel safe and nurtured is sort of in the realm of the woo-woo or the weak or the like soft exercise, or it doesn't really carry over into everything. I would argue that it carries over into every piece of movement, every worthwhile movement endeavor, because the more that we can kind of counteract the effects of a world that seems designed explicitly to make us feel unsafe all of the time, I mean, think about how powerful lack of safety as a feeling is in politics. I mean, fear is sort of the currency of politics in America right now. Um, so everything is acting against us. And just taking that time and just speaking the truth to yourself about the safety, and not be giving yourself a hard time, like feeling safe and being safe are not the same. I mean, I definitely have moments like on planes, for example, where I feel very unsafe, even though I know statistically all the data, it's like the equivalent safety of driving 55 miles an hour in the middle of Iowa or something. Like, it's so safe. But my brain has a pattern that it's learned. So do not beat yourself up either if it's hard to find a sense of safety in certain situations that you know cerebrally, intellectually are safe. Safety is not easy to come by in this modern society in which we live. We are we're neurologically overstimulated and facing a whole lot of things that our brains and bodies are not quite equipped to handle. But I really just believe that movement is just a powerful um, platform for getting at the root of all of these things because it gets to that primal need to feel connected to your body and also that primal need to feel safe and secure and strong in your body. And that's what we're here for. So, safety, make sure it's part of your daily movement practice. See you next week.